Canada.
really out of the USA
Yeah.
because we're so comfortable here. Everything we know is here. We go to other countries,
But
the
there's
foods are
danger
different.
sometimes in comfort.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing is, it's just so used to being comfortable. Yeah,
Yeah, and I know because and the thing is, like, I have a fair share of some conservative leaning and liberal leaning clients. I know, I don't know. I'm also at the year of, I guess, because I'm doing the self awareness thing. I'm really, even though emotions are very valid, I am really becoming more just rational or pragmatic about certain things. The unfortunate thing is, I live in a very political state, period.
yeah.
I was
Texas.
hoping that, or I didn't really know it at the time, but I was actually happy that I went into personal training because I was very political when I was in the legal field. Go figure. But I learned from being in the legal field, for those that are very political, nothing gets done. Why? Because I see so many people getting emotional. And when people get emotional, they get irrational. And that's where everything falls apart. Nothing gets accomplished because people get in their feelings. And I'm seeing a lot of that, and I'm just kind of like, I'm still a moderate. And the thing is, I think a lot of course, I know I cater to uh, a niche or a group of people that is very liberal, but I'm not that extreme because I come from a very ultra conservative environment. I grew up in a private Christian school for 12 years, and being extremely liberal means that I'm being politically correct. And I've stopped. I'm like, look, I'm not trying to be politically correct. Fuck that shit. If you can't pick up that I'm not trying to bully you, not trying to be a mean person, not trying to take something from you or cause any strife, then that is your problem, not mine. Okay. I'm not, I mean, I'm never like, look, I've never really been a bullying person because I've had some people have to explain some shit to me. And I'm just like, y'all really, that, wait, that's what bullies really think. But like being in a political state, I do keep company. I do have friends that are conservative that have voted for Trump, and and they are what a lot of people think are contradictions because it's like, you're a minority. Why are you voting for him? And it's like, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm friends with them, and I don't, you know, sometimes I'm a little careful about who I say it to only, but it's just I like to keep company with people that I can have a conversation with rationally, because there's so many people that I can't have a conversation with because I really want to know why you think he's doing this. Uh, because and I don't know, I've always been that way. I have no problem talking about taboo or what's considered taboo subjects, if it's politics, whether it's religion, and stuff like that. For some reason, it's never really scared me away. If anything, it's driven me more to find people that are either on the opposite side that can provide me a different perspective. So I can be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, then, okay, let's move on to the next one. Why? Um, but that's also part of the reason why I want to leave as well, because at the end of the day, I don't have money or power or influence on that level, not enough to make a change in that way. And so, since I'm not in that position, and because I've been around people that have been in proximity to people in that position, you have to give up a lot, and everybody has a price. Like for those that are in power and on top, they know everybody has a price, and they know that, and they exploit that. That's why things are the way that they are. But I don't want to be, I mean, like, I want to, help people with their health and their fitness, not get my hands dirty dealing with that. And I feel that just because of my personality, sometimes who I can gravitate towards, just knowing myself, when I graduate to those levels, I don't want to be involved with those devils. Might as well say. Um,
Well,
oh
well,
yeah,
I
no,
can
no.
understand that because doing content, especially on bodybuilding, there's a lot of bodybuilders who
Mhm.
are very conservative, but also at the same time, there's those who see what's going on as a mess, and they really want the people to understand that what you're getting out of this is not what you think you get out of this. The man's a
Mm,
good con man. That's all it is. And I some people who did support him, we still keep in contact. Others, they go to extreme stuff and make comments like, hey, wait a minute, that's that's a bit on the racist side. I don't think I really want to deal with you, so I'm just gonna go ahead and block you or
that's
unfollow you.
that was kind of a
Yeah,
deciding factor for why I left bodybuilding. Actually,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
hmm I
Mhm.
became or like so 2000 yeah 2018 was pretty much like a very change like a yeah definitely a changing year, might as well say. I can't find the right word for it, but I did become more involved or started to get involved with the queer community there in Houston. And um, not only near the end of the year, I decided to go into business for myself. And so it was really the reaction that I would see on, like you said, on some of their Facebook posts, the whole reaction to dealing with transgender people. Um, Considering the fact that my parents, both being people of color, both being Black, and being from the generations that they're at, they have never, my parents have, even my father, he's never been homophobic, he's never been transphobic at all, which is very rare for Black men in his generation. Um,
My generation too.
yeah, okay. And so, my parents have been progressive, they've been open, they're just, they never really cared as far as like what I did as an adult, as long as I was happy, you know. So when as far as me being involved with queer community, that never bothered them, never was an issue. I think my father caught one of my lives and I talked about my sexuality, and at that time I did identify as bisexual. I swear I wish I had a video or camera or something like that, or something on the wall. When he asked me, he's like, so what is bisexual? He's like, are you like, I forgot what he said, but it was like, are you half, I forgot what he says, like, are you half, I forgot what he asked, but it was just so funny because he was not being mean, he was just genuinely curious, and it didn't come out right. My dad's an OG nerd, so he's awkward as fuck. If he's autistic, that would explain a lot. But the main issue why I'm like, the thing that reason I never really went back to the community or bodybuilding was because um, I saw way too many competitors that were not that were very transphobic in their comments about people that are transgender that are competing in the field. And I'm just like, the mentors that I had when I was doing drag, like my drag mom is transgender. The first mentor I had is a very well-known Tina Turner impersonator, and has met Tina Turner. And the thing is, all of my mentors that are trans, they had to tell me that they were trans because I didn't know, because I don't think that way. But all of my mentors were transgender, either transgender male or transgender female. And after knowing what goes on as far as transitioning is concerned, knowing the science about transitioning, not just for adults, but for those that are or have recognized that they're trans at an early age, it's not what they assume or think it is. Transgender women are not stronger in any way, shape, or form, just knowing the science and all that other stuff, and just hearing the viewpoints, and they're once again not based in actual science and actual facts. And it's like you are just spouting it, and you don't seem like you're open to having a conversation. You're just assuming things are here and there. And I'm just like, okay, I I don't really care to be around you or in that environment knowing that you think that way, because these are people that at that time I considered very a family, because they were actually more open and accepting of me, or I guess it was kind of like they got me involved, or it's like, oh, come out, hang with us and stuff like that, versus like the people that I was around in the bodybuilding community, where it's like, hey, we're having a meetup where we're going to go work out here. They weren't doing simple shit like that, you know? Um, so it's just how they, conveyed themselves to me. It's like they were more open to, just being around me and inviting me. They were just more open and inviting and more welcoming. And, I gravitated towards that more. And then when I hear those disparaging remarks, it's just kind of like, yeah, so not only am I going to take a step back, because I was initially just going to take a step back and return, because I just wanted to focus on my business. But I just decided not to go back, because I was just seeing way too many comments that were transphobic in nature. And it's just like, these are from people that are honestly nicer and more accepting to me than you guys are. So I'm just like, okay, um, made the choice easy. It didn't hurt my feelings to step away.
Yeah, that's tough. Like, especially when I'm doing, ladies I've talked to, that's one thing about the transgender thing is that they feel that it can impact on their sport because it's like there was one time there was a female bodybuilder who lived her life as a man and also compete as a woman's bodybuilding.
Mhm.
There's a guy I've seen. Somebody sent me a video, a picture of his. He was a male bodybuilder. Now he's living his life as a man. Me personally, this is me. I ain't no playing with a man. It's maybe the 80s, but I'm down with the ladies. I'm kind of old fashioned. But I
I get
have
it.
known, yeah, I know guys, I even have relatives who are gay, or, I don't say trans, but gay,
Mhm.
but that's who you are. There's nothing you can change. I remember hearing stories how some say they wish to be like everybody else, but not everybody can be everybody else. You have to be who you're going to be.
Mhm.
And the thing is that this is something used as a whipping post, but it's not that big of a issue. You
Mm.
make it big because it kind of offends your senses. It
Right.
offends what you think is the norm. There's no such
Exactly.
thing of really normal.
Right.
Everybody's different. Everybody's thing. It may not be something I like, but I know something that
Right.
you like. And I've often heard that the gay, trans, queer community is very more open and more loving, more accepting compared to just everyday. Like you grew up in a Christian school, I went to public school. Different situation. You know,
Right.
and everybody has to take what they want out of something. And I think one thing is like if you think you're not fitting in this group, then find your own group or start something. We find people
Mhm.
that share your like mindedness. Here we got a
Right.
comment from my man KL. He says, hope you be able to go to the Atlanta show, George. I hope so too. Maybe if not, I can always try next year. And also, uh, he says this. Shot KL. He says, you know, do you think men and women should compete on stage together? I don't know. To me, I'm gonna say honestly say no. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, because men and women are different. I say this. Men and women we're the same species, but we're different. We're
Kind
different.
of like a peacock and a hen.
What?
Kind of like a
Yeah,
peacock and a hen.
yeah. We're just we're
Hen.
we're we're just different. We biologically simply different. Even if you do go get the surgery, you still genetically have some traits of a man. A lot of trans men have to go, which women have to do take estrogen blockers, so get rid of the testosterone. Then the women who
Correct.
transform to men had to take more testosterone, but still your blood and your genetics gonna say, even though I know ladies who take steroids said you're like a man, but you're not actually a man.
Yeah,
Physical
no,
stuff is like, yeah.
I will say one of my mentors, he put I and I mean, like, there's just some topics that I think a lot of certain groups of people don't want to hear or they're not ready to talk about. But me, I'm such a big fan of science, and he had a really good point. Is like